the voluntary value sharing provisions. So this would create Section 1604, voluntary value sharing. And we talked about it a little bit with the Treasury dollar bills and with American Union Jobs Program. And voluntary value sharing, what it does is it allows companies to pay a higher tax rate, higher than that 12% value added tax, into the Treasury. And that money then would be used to pay down the national debt. At the end of each fiscal year, the Secretary will report how much money would be generated through voluntary value sharing. And then it would be distributed to all citizens, essentially as sort of a year-end bonus in December of every year. Just, I guess, to clarify, we talked about some of the different kinds of accounts that the U.S. Treasury will be setting up for citizens versus guardians. And so if you have a child who's a citizen, their guardians would get legal guardian. If they have legal guardians who are not citizens, they would collect the child's universal basic income. But in the case of voluntary value sharing, it is divided only among citizens and in equal amounts. So every man, woman, and child who is a United States citizen would get an equal share of this voluntary value sharing amount. And why would companies do this? And there's a couple of reasons that they would. One would be could be good public relations, sponsoring a year-end bonus for the American people. It could be done to apologize for when companies have made errors. That it's a way of not just saying they're sorry, but doing something that would benefit the American people financially to address some of the harms that they may have caused. And also, as we're seeing now with oil companies making these huge windfall profits over speculation, this is an opportunity for them to say, yeah, we made some extra money. We're going to give some of it back to the American people. Create this voluntary value sharing creates that mechanism to do that. And so the public relations aspect comes of it with an annual report put out by the Secretary of the Treasury that will identify which business entities voluntarily contributed extra tax dollars. And so they will publicize a list of the 200, there'll be a publicly searchable database so that you can see any companies that have participated, and then publicize a list of different size companies, those with gross profits under $1 million, between 1 million and 100 million, and those greater than or equal to 100 million, and rank them in order of their contributions. So of these companies with gross profits over $100 million, because there's a smaller amount of those, if less than 200 participate, the Secretary will still fill in this list of 200 with the companies that made the largest profits and with a big fat zero next to their name. So it'll be good publicity if they're going to appear on the list anyway, to voluntarily share some of their money with their profits with the American people. And so that's the basic mechanism of voluntary value sharing, and how that'll work for paying down the national debt and returning it to the American people.
A good time to pause?
Sure.
Yeah. So just a ballpark estimate. How much do you expect this to actually be taken advantage of, like realistically? Do you have any kind of estimate as to what this bonus might look like for Americans every year?
No. This is one of those things where maybe we'd like to see companies compete, right? Who's going to donate the most? Facebook, Google, Uber, let them, who wants to be top on the list? And by forcing them to compete, hopefully we will all be the beneficiaries of that. But no, I don't have any specific estimates.
Will there be, so the Treasury would be publishing this list. Is there a plan to more than just publish, like have some kind of media or advertising campaign just to better put it in front of Americans' eyes so that way they really see that this is happening?
Well, I imagine if you were a business who appeared on the list, you would want to promote that as much as possible. That, look, come, you could spend your money at, coffee shop A or coffee shop B, but if you come to coffee shop B, we're going to donate an extra 10% of our profits back to the American people. Come shop here instead. That's sort of the goal, is create a mechanism where companies can do these good deeds for the benefit of the public, of just thinking for themselves. Once the framework's in place, we'll see who uses it and how it works. But since we're setting up this public payment infrastructure through Treasury accounts for everyone, now we have a way that we can distribute benefits to all Americans.